Nope. Oof emoji, sure, but not imminently. Um, okay, I think the biggest thing we have to talk about is now that the TCG is actually launching, I think we're gonna need an entire like Discord category for it. Um, we could have like a channel for talking about deck building, a channel for playing games in real life, a channel for, players wanted for webcam games. I was thinking maybe uh some I don't know if I want to facilitate online trades, but because I don't want to encourage people here to like necessarily share their addresses with each other. That puts it's an endorsement that I don't want to necessarily make. I feel like it's relatively safe though for people to meet at public events like PAX and trade with each other. So I'm maybe some sort of trade coordination channel that's weighted toward IRL events.
Joe,
Yeah.
the Creo Discord has a whole section for card trades.
Yeah, so
So
I was
I'd
gonna
almost
probably send people that way. Uh,
exactly.
because it's a broader pond. Um, anyway, but yeah. Okay. So in terms of the channels, like, maybe, yeah, having one for deck building, maybe one for collecting, because some people are gonna want to show off, like, just their collections. But that's gonna be a different conversation from people saying like, "Oh, I'm trying to strategically build a playable deck," right? Those are two different conversations. Um, so let me put up. I'm just gonna have a running proposal in here. Okay, so TCG category, working proposal. Okay, so TCG collecting, TCG deck building. Um, Maybe TCG meetups, we'll call it, and then TCG webcam games. Is there anything obviously missing from there? Um,
I'm concerned about the webcam games for the same reasons why you don't let us share our webcams in our chats.
well, the thing is, there's a difference between me hosting video via the server, like allowing people. So, from a moderation standpoint, if somebody starts sharing Blade Runner to the Discord, I'm supposed to shut it down. And I don't have the moderation resources to keep an eye on that. But if people want to play webcam games with each other, like on Twitch, like if Tommy and NJ wanted to play a webcam game with each other, they could just create a direct call with each other and then stream that call, right? So I would not be hosting the video. I would just be allowing people to coordinate scheduling their own games against each other.
Yeah,
But
this.
mate,
I see you've already thought of my concern and figured it out.
Gritmonger, what were you
Oh, I
thinking?
was just going to say that it's a good choice to create a separate channel for it because otherwise people will do that anyways, and they'll just be polluting another channel with those kind of requests.
Yeah. So, and then I think having a TCG general just for TCG fallback stuff, because there might be stuff that doesn't exactly fall into any of those five categories. And if we see any particular needs, we can bust it out from there. Um, let's see. In terms of the name of the category, I would probably call it the HermitCraft TCG just to be clear. Because right now, we all know what I'm talking about, but somebody new joining the server in a year and a half, once this has calmed down, might be like, what? I didn't even know there was a HermitCraft TCG. And if we just have a category called overall TCG, they might be like, oh, is this where we talk about Magic the Gathering? Um, actually, it might be HCTCG, collecting general, and so yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna post the working proposal there. It seems like, for example, a lot of the photos people have been taking of the cards they're getting as they come in would probably go in collecting. So that's a clear place for that. We're gonna also get a bunch of people getting collector's cards in December, as well. Um, I'm probably imagining the meetups one would have a with pinned message linking upcoming hermit attended events. Right. So the HCTCG meetups we would link to the two channels here that I'm going to be attending, but like if Doc was going to, I don't know, Guter Damerung Con or something like that in Bavaria, we might also say, for German folks, go check out Guter Damerung Con. That sort of thing. Um, that makes sense to me. Um, as far as I know, there haven't been any other Hermit events announced. Have you guys heard of any?
I haven't heard anything other than the PAX one.
Okay. So people are in progress on that, or in process on that. The big problem is the TCG isn't established enough for gaming convention organizers to pay us to come out, and so some people aren't going to be able to travel without getting that compensation. I'm lucky with TGD Tennessee Game Days. I'm going to be here anyway, so that's easy. Um, I'm probably going to follow Beef's lead. He's got some stuff he's working on in particular. And when he announces that, I'm gonna see what I can do in terms of my availability to try and get back up. He was looking at doing something in like the either the Ontario or upstate New York, like Great Lakes region, at some point. But yeah. So let's see. That'll cover people getting pictures of their cards, people building decks, people wanting to play against each other via web. Meetups could also cover in-person meetups. So, if Toxic was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do a HermitCraft TCG meetup in Boston," he could post about that there. Um, okay, cool. Any other thoughts, questions, or concerns about that? Okay. Um, so let's do a overall status update on things. This is just more for informational purposes than anything. Still don't know how long the Hermitcraft hiatus is going to be, so I can't make any announcements about the flagship server relaunch. I have worked very hard last week to get this Vault Hunter server working, and Toxic is going to be working very hard to make sure that people who have problems with connecting or getting their mods working, Toxic's going to be handling all the like setup and support side of things. If you have a crash and you lose stuff in a vault, you talk to Toxic. Toxic's the creative lead on that server. I'm just handling back end operations. But I think we have something really fun and good set up there that a lot of people will enjoy the next few months while they wait for the flagship server to restart if they have petered out on that. I would not worry about being behind. I saw some people already saying, like, oh no, other people are already so far ahead of me. Vault Hunters is definitely something where you can play at your own pace, but also some of the quests you really get helped out if there's somebody else that's like, "Oh, I already built that. Just come interact with the device." Like that saved me gathering so much netherite. So I would not have a problem joining a Vault Hunter server a month late or 2 months late. In fact, some of the hermits are kind of slow starting their own Vault Hunter series, so they can wind down projects on other servers first. So I don't think that that's going to be a problem. I'm hoping we get some good interest there. I wanted to be cautious about promoting the new server too aggressively to the public until we knew that it was basically rock solid. But the server maintenance I did with the operating system update, allocating an additional 20 gigs of swap, like that server is now set up pretty well. We're in good shape. We haven't had a single crash with the server running for like 3 or 4 days straight now. I've been checking on the memory usage, CPU usage. Everything seems to be working fine. So that's been really pleasing to see. In terms of other long-term events and things, Tennessee Game Days tickets just went on sale a few days ago. They sell out really quickly. So if anybody wants to come and hang out March 1st through 3rd for Tennessee Game Days Spring, that would be fantastic. Um, I don't know what other events I'm going to be able to announce this upcoming year. Things are going to be kind of wild because we don't know when the immigration paperwork is going to come through for Badger to get here. And then that's going to start a 90-day window for us to get married. So I'm trying to keep as many weekends kind of free in the January through September window as possible, just so that we have options for whenever that comes through. But that's a big question mark right now. Um, but yeah, on the whole, I've currently got like 3 episodes worth of footage backlogged. I've got 1 Vault Hunters and 3 HermitCrafts. I feel like the production schedule the last month and a half, I've been really more on top of things. Um, I'm getting better at balancing editing and recording. I'm probably gonna. I'm realizing in order to keep the editing schedule up, I am gonna have to drop out of some of the like either Friday morning streams or Monday morning streams occasionally, just because like some days I'm just like, okay, if I want to get this episode out tomorrow, I have to edit right now. Um, but I don't think that the ones I've missed in the last few weeks have been that disruptive, so that's good. The Did anybody attend the Lord of the Rings stream?
Like besides me.
It's okay if not.
Like that. Wait, like that? Anybody watched it?
Did anybody here watch the Lord of the Rings stream that we did with Ren and Jev and
Oh yeah,
Sarah?
it was a treat.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, if y'all have any thoughts about that, it didn't seem like we got a lot of feedback and feedback sponsorships on that. Um, but that is something that we've been Isuma's been taking point on doing group negotiations for certain sponsorships representing whichever hermits want to participate. The thing is, those aren't really when we do get those, they're very high paying, but they're something that you can't count on because it's every 3 to 5 months. But I'm planning on trying to do more of those in the future because they've been a lot of fun for me, and they've so far the ones I participated in have been games that I would have wanted to play anyway. Um, so yeah, I didn't see any complaints, but yeah, if y'all have feedback, definitely share it because, like I said, one of the big things that we kind of realized when Tommy and I were looking at the agenda was that nobody's really asked for much the last 3 months, and I would like to think that means that we're generally doing a good job, and we're gonna kind of keep doing what we're doing for now. Once Badger gets here, that's gonna really free me up in some ways because we can kind of take turns dropping Corinne off and picking Corinne up from school, so I can be more flexible with my recording times with some of the other hermits, maybe participate in series that would be recording during her school drop off and pickup times in the future. Um, so, but basically, if I don't hear otherwise from folks, the way that the last 2 months or so went is probably going to be how I try to keep things going for the next 2 to however many months it is until we get Badger back in the States. After that, there's going to be a break for the wedding and hopefully a honeymoon. I don't know how the finances are going to be. Realistically, what kind of time I'm going to be able to take off, especially because I don't have a car anymore. And our original plan was, well, we can always just go to the Smoky Mountains. That's 3 hours away and it's super cheap. But now we don't. It'd be like, Quinn, you want to drive us to the Smokies? It's only 6 hours round trip. That'll be a lot of fun for you. So yeah, I'm not sure what exactly that'll look like, but we'll probably pivot on a few things in the weeks and months after that. But no, I don't think it would be anything that y'all would be too surprised by. It would be more of just the sort of things where People are like, oh, why don't you do this? Well, because I got to pick my kid up from school. Now I don't have to every day. Okay, so I got some options. So there's that. Tommy, am I missing anything
Not that I can think of.
on the status report? Yeah, like I said, if there's something that you feel like should have been addressed today that hasn't been, make sure you request it for, or if you think of something next week where you're like, oh, we should have talked about that, put it on the agenda for next meeting. Let's see, this is November. The next meeting will probably be in February. Yeah, I think that should cover basically everything. We've got other status report things. The new Vanillish server will be launching sometime in January, probably well ahead of the flagship server, which won't launch until we have a HermitCraft seed and a HermitCraft season. So people who are really, itching for a new vanilla experience who don't want to play modded will have something to jump into early on in the new year. But yeah, okay. Well, that was everything I had. Tommy, if that was everything you had, I think we can dismiss people to go watch Tango's stream because I'm sure everybody wants to get back to that.
At some point, we'll need to schedule a newsletter call for the month and a staff meeting for the month, but otherwise, that's it.
Yep. That is out of scope for this, but also correct. So yeah, remind me of that in the staff text chat.
Can
so
do.
that I don't. Cool, because I've got to go hop back on Tango's stream. It's supposed to be like a 5-hour stream, so I don't mind taking a few breaks like this. But yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank y'all so much. I will catch y'all around.
Later.
Thanks, Joe.
Later.
Thank you, Joe.